Mic check 1, 2. Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Is it a double sound? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Somebody text me. Let me know how it can you hear me. Let me check. All right, you can hear me. Yeah, you can hear me. All right. Let me see. Just be checking on it, guys. Don't fight me. All right. We're out here with live with jamming. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You should be able to hear me now. Por favor, forgive me. We should be able to hear me now. And you should be able to see me. Preview that. You should be able to see me in these particular areas. Let me know exactly what's what. Can you hear me? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the foundation. Grateful to be in your company. I know a lot of persons with those itchy ears are kind of sliding in. If you could hear me, guys, let me know. Hit me up with a text. Let me know. We're right here, 827-0111, or you can be able to give me a call. The telephone lines are working. We are live and in full effect, being able to jam with you and being able to do what we do. And so I'm always grateful to be able to jam with you in that particular stead. Hope you guys are good. Hope you had a good, beautiful weekend. Got to be able to say happy birthday to my mother. My mother is 15 today, 18. Let's just make it legal, all right? Let's just be let's be legal. Let's make it legal. You understand what I'm saying? Every year she said, I could never tell. Listen to me. I can tell you the truth, okay? My mother, when when my wife was pregnant, right? And, she was tripping the whole time, right? I might as well tell you the truth, right? She was straight tripping, she kind of pulled it into her. This is about me, right? And I said, you need to calm down, baby. All this ain't got nothing to do with you, right? You got to calm down. She said, you're making me an old woman. I said, but what the hell are you talking about, mommy? Right? She said, you're making me an old woman. Oh my God, you're making me an old woman. I said, Mom, you need to relax. You need to relax and be able to take care, right? But it's a beautiful thing and grateful to be here. And she's celebrating her birthday today. February 6th, 2026. She's celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday, Mommy. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mommy. Happy birthday to you. I love you very much. I pray that the Father continues to be able to watch over you, bless you, take care of you, keep you, pour into you with His grace and His mercy, surround you, put a hedge of protection around you, lift you up, give you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and help you move in the direction He calls you to move in. It is a wonderful thing to be able to celebrate another year here in the land of the living. There's a great deal of people that we know collectively, that we know individually, that ain't make it. Amen? They ain't here no more. They gone. They ain't make it. And so I'm grateful that you're here with us and you'll still be able to celebrate and have a wonderful time with us on your birthday. So it's a wonderful thing, and I'm grateful that you're here with us, right? So I just wanted to kind of put that out there and let persons know where we are in that stead and let them know how we're jamming and making those particular things happen. My uncle's birthday today. It's peculiar how my grandmother had her first child and her last child born on the same day. Years apart, but born on the exact same day. So my uncle, who's the first child, Uncle Van Dyke is celebrating his birthday today too. I think he's like 10 years older than everybody. I think he's 10 years older than my mother. I think so. It could be more. It could be more. But I think it's like 10 years, right? Mommy is the sixth child. Grammy had 6 children, right? Mommy is the sixth child. 4 boys and 2 girls. And Patra and my mother Bernie. So they were the last two out of the bunch, right? And my first 4 uncles, Van Dyke, Philip, Oliver, Elvis, right? Well, that's not the That's not the secret. It goes Van Dyke, Philip, Elvis, Oliver. Yeah, that's how it is. And my grandmother had those with it. So the first one and the last one was born on the same day, which I thought was peculiar. And I don't know, a kind of strange thing. But anyway, nonetheless, I guess she had a particular routine. Lionel, on this particular day, this is what we do. I don't know. Praise God. So she's celebrating her birthday, and I know that she's having celebrations and whatnot. I didn't know if she's coming to Nassau, or if not, I was asking her. She didn't say anything. But we'll figure it out how to be able to get her here and be able to enjoy her birthday. Happy birthday, Mommy. I love you very much. I pray that the Father continues to be able to bless you. Guys, listen to me. The Epstein files continue to unravel and show the debauchery that exists far and wide throughout the length and breadth of this world. The Epstein files. I am convinced at this point. I am absolutely convinced at this point that he did not kill himself. That he did not kill himself. That's just mine. Based upon the unraveling, based upon the information, based upon what has been exposed, what has come to light, based upon all those particular things, I am of the impression, I am of the belief that this man did not off himself, that was suggested laid upon him, and the necessity for him to be able to take a particular path. Can I say that? Just through observation, just through reading, just through understanding, just through understanding the nature of life. Can I say that? It's a scary thing, guys. It's an absolutely scary thing when you find yourself in this position. It's a scary thing. I continue to be able to, watch and with bated breath and wait to make this kind of determination to identify exactly what's happening around the world. I am watching. I'm watching. And I think that we've become so content with the debauchery that exists in life. I think we've become so, this indifference that exists in this particular space. We've become one with it. Yeah, this is a part of what we do. Well, what you can do, it is what it is. Kind of line, kind of position. This is what we do. Well, what you can do? What you can do? These people been doing this darkness for a long time. What you can do? This is dark. I can read a little taste of these particular things. I got some information this morning from the Epstein files. Now, I wasn't one that actually kept up in depth and detail as to exactly what was what. I wasn't one that actually kept abreast with it, right? Not knowing that it unraveled these particular things. Not knowing. Let's see if we can be able to find some information on it and see what's what. The interview of Redacted. In 2007, Redacted met my husband in Palm Beach. He was married and wanted out of the life, so he left his wife and sold his company. All right, hold on, let me see if I can find a particular one. Decided to talk more specifically about the Bahamas, and Epstein controlled the Bahamians. See it right there. This is what it said. This is what it said. Epstein controlled the Bahamians, the Bahamian and the United States government. That's what it says. That's what it says. It says in 2014, Redacted flew down there. I suppose that's the Bahamas. Epstein and Farkas owned a house. They moved arms. Now, I'm not talking about with even hands. Fire. They commingled arms with construction items. That's what it says. Listen, I didn't make this stuff up. Leon Black moves him into his home office. Redacted husband has known Black forever. Epstein launches Southern Trust. Maxwell launches Terramar at the same time. Their money is laundered through these non-profits. In 2013, Farrakis launches Southern Country. In August of 2013, they demolished the house. In July of 2014, Redacted gets suspicious. Her husband has a stroke. Listen, this is the thing. And she had a baby. You know, it's a funny thing how they redacted all these particular things. I'm going to read this here. They locked all of the containers. Redacted moves law firm. Epstein launches Southern Country LLC. Wires are made and moved. Redacted calls her insurance. I don't know, redacted just being that this is blotted out. Redacted calls her insurance. She calls Marvin James. And meets with him. Adrian Fox and Sebastian move women and arms. Mother sick. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Now, I understand that Sebastian put some information out, and let's be able to identify that, and also I would have been able to see some other persons start to talk about this sort of an idea. I've just been receiving information all morning, not necessarily diving into it, but we can dive into it together. And let's be able to look at this and see exactly what's what. So let's pull it up, right? Now, if they said to me that, let's look at. I'm looking online to see if I could be able to find like sort of a redacted position of being able to separate themselves from these particular things, because I know all morning this was a buzz throughout the country, being able to talk about one thing or another, and more specifically being able to identify these particular things, right? This is heavy. Now, I think Dr. Minnis, based upon what I would have heard, I can look up on Facebook and see exactly what's what. Based upon what I would have heard, it seems as though Dr. Minnis has been able to, I think it was Dr. Minnis, right? Before I called Dr. Minnis' name. All right, okay, let's see. Here we go. Folks, I never engaged in sales. Okay, when is this? Let's see if we can do this. My God, this is today's newspaper. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Allied CEO Sebastian and Fox Foundation founder Adrian Fox yesterday denied having any association with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, right? After their names appeared in the latest batch. This is on my phone. I could barely see the words. What I can read it here. All right. The latest batch of the files related to the disgraced American the files in the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, the document that summarizes that on May 20th, 2021 interview of several people connected to Epstein. The file says that the Epstein controlled the Bahamians and the United States government, and that he was moving arms. So the file says, we just read it. It says that when contacted yesterday, Bastian, the Progressive Liberal Party's candidate for Fort Charlotte, said that I don't do food. When contacted yesterday, Bastian, in fact, the closest I come to Epstein, I can't see this next one. Epstein, something stain, or any stain, is the stain on my shirt. However, I refer you to the U.S. courts. I gotta get the paper. Hold up. Wait. Let's go. Hold on now. Hold on. Let's go. The official Nassau Guardian has put up the information. Bang, bang, bang. This should be up and running now. It should be all over. It is absolutely there. Bastian and Fox deny. Let's pull this up and see exactly. I don't do food. All right. When contacted yesterday, I say I don't do food. In fact, the closest I come to Epstein, a jet stain, or any other stain is the stain on my shirt. However, I refer you to the U.S. courts and the Department of Justice, who have been explicit that the unsealing documents of the Epstein-related files does not imply wrongdoing, does not establish credibility or of allegation, and does not reflect findings of fact or criminal liability. I pray that the victims of the Jeffrey Epstein get justice, and that everyone who was involved in the crimes are punished without prejudice and to the full extent of the law, no matter who they are or what power they think that they have. We have a country to build. I am focused on helping with that. And say that's it, and that's all. Fox said that he never met or associated with Epstein and never engaged in the sale or trafficking of firearms or women. I'm writing to express my grave concern regarding the recent allegations circulating that I have ever met or associated with Jeffrey Epstein in any capacity. This is what Fox wrote to the Nassau Guardian when he was contacted. I want to categorically state that I have never had any personal interaction with him, nor have I engaged in any activities that could have that can be construed as illegal, including the sales or trafficking of firearms or women. It is disheartening to witness a rampant spread of misinformation and the ease with which individuals can fabricate news that tarnishes the reputation of innocent people. The gravity of such unfounded claims can have far-reaching consequences, not only on a personal level, but also within the borders and the broader community. Okay. I pray for justice for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein and fully support that all those who are committed crimes, regardless of their statures, influence, or power, or be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law without prejudice or exception. I believe it is imperative for all of us to uphold the values of truth and integrity in our discourse. The proliferation of baseless rumors can undermine public trust and sow discord. I urge those who disseminate such information to consider the impact of their words and to ensure that their statements are rooted in fact rather than conjecture. The file also mentioned that the name mentioned the name Craig Flowers, CEO of FML Web Shop chain, though it was not in the context of any serious crimes connected to Epstein. Flowers could not be reached to respond to the fact that there was a mention of his name. Epstein, a wealthy American sex offender whose friends ranged from United States President Donald Trump. Hold on, 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 Guardian. Hold on, Guardian. Didn't United States of America President actually separate himself from this? Didn't he indicate that he don't know the man? Didn't Donald Trump indicated that? Despite the fact that we would have seen pictures, despite the fact that these particular files are being released, didn't he indicate that there was no relation? Why put his name first? Why didn't he go to former President Bill Clinton? We know that. We know that. Why are we doing this? Let's read it. Ranged from U.S. President Donald Trump to Prince Andrew in the UK was indicted and arrested in New York in 2019 on charges of sex trafficking. He later died in the prison cell. Let's read that instruction. He later died in a prison cell while awaiting trial. His death was reported as a suicide. I like that he structured that. His death. He later died, and his death was reported as. His death was reported as a suicide, following mounting criticisms of the U.S. Justice Department last year released files related to its investigation into Epstein. So far, millions of pages of documents, so far, millions of pages of documents are online and being able to identify these things. Let me see if I can get God. Thank you so much for calling the foundation. This is Howard Grant. Garth, you're on with us live. Garth, you're on with us live, my brother. Go ahead. I can't hear you, Garth. Hello? Hey, we on live, the People Radio, amen? I'm on live. Hold on. You're on the radio live. Go. I hear what you say. I hear what you say. I love you too. I don't even know who we're talking to, right? Go ahead. Okay, baby, I love you too. Praise God for you. Okay, baby. All right. Everything good? Okay, baby. All right, Miss Deal. Tell her I know some deals down there. I know Paco them. Ask if she's from the Paco them. I know Paco them from down Holmes Rock. I know the deals in Holmes Rock. Okay, really? Okay. Really? Miss Loretta, who used to drive bus? Okay. I know Loretta. I know Loretta. I know Loretta. Yeah, I know her. Okay, baby. I didn't know that. Yeah, I know her. Praise God. Okay. Okay, baby. I talked a little taste about this Epstein thing this morning. I reading through it and identifying these particular things. I thought you were listening in. This is a crazy thing, God. This is a crazy thing, God. Well, it will find its way, and more succinctly, it would find its way in a strategic news outlet. Talk to me here, we'll talk to me. And being able to underhandedly besmirch the particular character of individuals. Now, the long and short of this is this. Your name in the Epstein file, we got to talk about it one way or another. Whether or not, it don't matter which news outlet did it, we got to be able to identify these things. Now, we read Sebastian's response. He said he don't do food. He don't know Epstein. The only stain he know is the stain on his shirt. That's it. That's it. And I'm surprised he didn't say, I have time to go for that. You understand what I'm saying? That's it. Now, I'm reading through this, and they've also called Craig Flowers' name, and at the forefront, they've called Adrian Fox's name. This is heavy, heavy, heavy. Talk to me, Doc. Mm-hmm. 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 That's heavy. Yeah, that's heavy. You get back at the same thing. You get back at this, bring the thing. Nothing for nothing leaves nothing. You get back to that. Well, there's an expectation of return. And the thing is that desperate people with a desire, and I think we have to have this kind of a clear conversation. There is a level of desperation associated with the need to be able to prop up the free national movement. Let's just be very clear. Okay? There is a level of desperation associated with being able to prop up these particular things. I see a telephone call, sir. There's a telephone call coming in. I'm sure that this is going to give us some full information that we need to be able to have, right? I'm going to call them back and then find out exactly what's what. In fact, I'll let you call me back. Guys, if you're watching me, I see that you call. I see your last name pop up on the thing. And I'd like to be able to hear from you, right? This is not condemnation. We want to be able to find out more about this. Somebody said something about audio issues. Let me look at this and make sure I get it, right? Let me make sure I get it. All right, all right. Okay, no problem. Okay, we talk. All right, guys, I will listen in to see if I have these audio issues. Someone's texting me and say, Howard, we can't hear him. Or you can't hear him. Oh, you can't hear him. Hold on. I can hear him. Mic check 1, 2. Yeah. I hope you can hear him. Let's try it again. Hold on. I got a couple of people say, Howard, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. All right, let me know if you can hear me. Text me, guys. Text me, guys. Text me, guys. Hit me up. 827-0111, 827-0111. Let's make sure that the audio is good because I got a last name calling me just now. that I am interested in being able to hear what he or she has to say in that particular instance. Guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mic check 1 2. Is it echoing? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mic check 1 2. Let's go. Let me check it out. Let me check it out. I am interested in being able to hear what he or she has to say in that particular instance. Guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mic check 1 2. Is it echoing? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Mic check 1 2. Let's go. Let me check it out. Let me check it out. All right, let's check it out. All right. So, all right, that might have a little echo to it. Let me turn that down. Try to give me a call. 827-0111, 827-0111. That's a telephone call. Now, I don't know if you're calling me for personal reasons, because this, people is calling my telephone just to be able to, yeah, whatever. And some persons are watching the show. If you're watching the show and you just called me just now, I ain't going to call your last name, but you just called me just now and you want to be able to call into the show, please do so. 827-0111, 827-0111, and we could be able to have that kind of a conversation. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know, guys. Can you hear me? Can you hear? Okay, let's try it now. Why don't you call and let's see if we can be able to hear you. All right? Let me call Garth back. Let me call Garth back and see if we can be able to get this done. All right? Can you hear me? See, that's what I was calling you for, to tell you that Garth. Oh, okay. Okay. I see I was talking with your cousin, and I figure you called me to say, I ain't gonna fight you, praise Jesus. I just, look up. I'm not gonna fight you, right? All right, so it get better now. Check it. YouTube, they're saying that you can't hear him either. There is a shush sound. Oh Lord, let me check out my comments, my live chat comments. Oh yeah, they say we can't hear Garth. Okay, so it's much better. Okay. So they say it's much better. All right. Okay, guys. Let me take a 2-second break. Let me see if I can be able to do that. And tell me if you can hear this. Get ready. I hope you guys are ready. This is the political season, and we're going to be able to jam and do some stuff in this season. I'm excited to be able to get some stuff done. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, guys. And when we get back, we're going to jam and dive in a little deeper as to exactly what's what. If you want to be able to give me a call, I'd love you to do so. Give me a call at 827-0111. 827-0111. Quick break, guys. Going to be right back after this.
Taking Bahamian music to the world. This DJ Sampler. Hit that subscribe button like a goatskin drum.
Hello, Ricky. This Johnny Gate, man. Listen, don't believe they're trying to keep us locked down. They want us go inside the kill man till I just break it straight, man. I see music. You know why they go there. You know why they go there, kill man. Watch this. When the music plays, I'm the first one to dance. Sexy gal gon' whine on me while my rum in my hand. Reggae spread so sweet, don't think you understand. I go in to mash up the place every time I go by the farm. I always get drinking till I lose and I wet. Nobody gon' watch me if I can't bad and I sweat. On your market set, drunk but I ain't missing. sampler. Bust it, mother. Reggae step so sweet, don't think you understand. Man, banging on woman, woman, banging back on a man. I always get drinking till I lose and I wet. Nobody gon' watch me if I get over and I sweat. On your market set, drunk but I ain't missing a step. Mind if you ain't feel no wild, then stay over there by yourself. When we can scrape return, I can dance, I can sing, I can wave my flag. When we can scrape return, I can drink all the rum, I can get all mine. When we can scrape return, I can dance, I can sing, I can wave my flag. When we can scrape return, I can drink all the rum, I can get all mine. Get him, Ricky! Just give me the red cash scrape. Beat that woman, scrape that red. I get strong inside long way. I like some fish with only cake and say, 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 like some fish with only.
It's 3 a.m. and I'm waiting for the sun. Lost track of the days, man. Look at this, ain't no fun. Cell phone in my left hand, TV on my right. My mouth extra dry 'cause there ain't no rum inside. Longing for the days when I was wild and free. Out to everything was lit, not a care or worry. Now it's like I've joined the
Yo, yo,
crowd of
bust it,
HIV.
bass sampler, bust it,
I ain't
mother.
with no crime, so please set me free. Loose me, let me go. I don't want the inside no more. Loose me, let me go. This is killing me, that's for sure. So let me out, let me out, let me out, yeah, let me out. Loose me, let me go. I don't want the inside no more.
The Bahamian music ambassador, DJ Sampler.
Nipsey Ellis.
Yo, yo, bust it, bass sampler. Bust it, mothers.
It's 3 a.m. and I'm waiting for the sun. Lost track of the
Celebrate some way. But they don't see those heartbreaking loss, yeah. They don't know. Health and strength to the Lord I pray. Direct my path and protect me on my way. From the third I rise, I hear your voice. He say you come too far. Pick up the goat, pick it up. You done pick up the goat from the nail, oh ladi, die, die, do. You done pick up the goat from the nail, oh ladi, die, die, do. So tell me why you're so scared, oh ladi, die, die, do. Oh, tell me why you're so scared, oh ladi, die, die, do. Ride it, pick it up, ride it. Let's go. Pick it up, ride it. Pick it up, ride it. Pick it up, ride it. Pick it up. Pick it up, ride it. Pick it up, ride it. Pick it up. Pick it up, ride it. Yeah. Na 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 na. Come on. Na 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 na. 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 Ha! Take away all my pain, Lord. Please take all the negative, Lord. Take it away. You brought me to my knees. Yeah. You show me all the people that was born. So here's a toast to the brighter days. I can see the sunshine after all that rain. Open up. From the third I rise, I hear your voice. Come on. You say you come too far. Pick up the goat. Yo, yo, bust it, bass sampler. Bust it, mothers. Pick up the goat from the nail, oh ladi, die, die, do. Tell me why you're so scared, oh ladi, die, die, do. Oh, tell me why you're so scared, oh ladi, die, die, do. Ride it, let's go. Ride it.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. This is The Foundation with Howard Grant, jamming with you. Always happy to be here, always happy to jam with you, to talk about national issues and these particular things. Now, when Garth was on, I just want to be very clear about what, because I saw a call coming through, right? And I guess you could have heard me, but you couldn't hear Garth. So I'll try to be able to call Garth back to see if we can be able to talk with him. And you let me know. I can hear and see if I can hear this telephone ringing. If I could hear the... Okay, good. You can hear the music. Praise God, right? Okay, good. All right. Yeah. He's quite capable and articulate, right? Based upon the stuff that we've been reading. Definitely. He's quite capable and articulate. Capable of being able to do those things. Let me see if I can make this telephone call and get through to him. Let me see. Hold on now. Hold on now. We can try one more time. Okay. So if I can hear that boop, 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 that means you could hear it also. Let me see if I could get him on the direct line and call him to see what's what. Okay, I suppose he'll call back when he's ready. All right. Now let's talk about this. Let's be very clear about this. This is not condemnation. This is not being able to identify these things. I believe that this is being amplified. Okay, so I have a conspiracy theory in my head, okay, that exists. And this has been going on for me, with me, and in my head over the past 8 months. Can I say that? Okay? We're in February. It's happened from 11 months, over the last 11 months. From March of last year, I saw some stuff. I'm going to be honest with you. I never say nothing. You heard me saying, if you listen to the way that I spoke, sometimes it was kind of cryptic, right? From March of last year, when I was in another space and being able to speak to you in that space. Grateful to be here in that space. Always, this ain't no hatred or nothing. I just saw some things shifting. And in the midst of that, I saw a particular lean, right? I'm reading, the articles. I'm listening to, shows. I'm watching placement. I'm listening to people come to me and start to have this kind of a conversation with me that says, right? This kind of a conversation with me that says, Howard, we want you to speak on behalf of the Free National Movement. Hello. So I'm telling you, listen to me. Listen to Howard. Listen to me. Not that you have to, but I'm telling you what happened. From last year, February, March, around that kind of time, some things shifted. Remember, the year before that, I had just done some stuff for the Free National Movement, which I was paid for. I thought this was kind of relationship that we had. I provide transparent commentary, and I say this is exactly what I see, and based upon what I see, you ain't got to agree with me or disagree with me, but if you want me, I'm not going to lean in one direction or another. I will say with transparency, this is what it is, this is where it is. And the Free National Movement were content with that. And I said, before I take one dime from them, before I take $1 from them, and I said, hey, listen, I can do what you require me to do, but I don't want you to believe that this is going to be, no. How would we want you to be like that? Because we have essentially something to prove. And we're going to stand firm and all these things. Okay, praise God. If that's what you want to do, then do your thing. So I did it, and I did the show for them, and I did their convention, and I did their fair. The fair was well attended. They had everyone under my tent. I had the fair book out, and all the people were there. I interviewed everyone. I interviewed the leader. I interviewed the deputy leader. I interviewed the chairman. I interviewed some of the officers. I interviewed persons, just random persons there. We were talking about the energy associated with the Free National Movement and what was happening in that kind of a space. It was no problem. I had no problem. Rolling into the convention now and being able to find in this space, I presented them concepts and ideas again to be able to prop up their campaign if this is what they wanted. If you go back, you can be able to look. In my house, I set up, you may not know this is my house. In my house, I set up, right? I just had moved into this place. In my house, I set up a table, I set this up, I set that in. My wife looking at me like, I said, baby, just calm down, right? I bring in Ellsworth and I bring in, for the chair, because the chairman race was the biggest race for me. I bring in Ellsworth and I bring in Dwayne Sands. You understand? And in having those particular things, can you hear that? Let's see. Garth, you're on with us.
Oh, you called me again. What's happening?
Yeah, I calling you right now because I thought I got a telephone call, and just wanted to be very clear. Let me see if I can hear you online and be able to see exactly what's what. Can you hear that? Let's see.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Garth, you're on with us.
Okay.
Okay, good. Okay, so I think persons can hear me now. Garth, where we left off, because I was just starting to tell them about the Free National Movements and their plights. I was starting to talk about when we did the stuff with the Free National Movement, how it wasn't an issue. I told them with transparency, hey, listen, if you want me to do this, I don't want you to think I can be leaning in one direction or another. I'm going to be transparent. I saw some things happening from a year before, and I thought it was peculiar how things were happening. But I did the Free National Movements thing. I did the layout. I did all these things, and we were good. We did not know problems. They paid me. I gave them an invoice, and they didn't ask me to do nothing. No special nothing. The Free National Movement, he asked me to do nothing. They say, Howard, do what you just do. And I did that. And we came on, and Garth, we had a wonderful show. I thought it was good. We interviewed the leader. We interviewed the deputy leader. We interviewed the chairman. We interviewed officers. We went there. We had a good conversation the night of the convention. I had individual interviews. Listen to me. I Howard Grant ain't cheap. I charged the people and they paid me every dime I required. This was outside of my show over at the other space. Garth, talk to me. Then all of a sudden things have shifted. And as a result of this shift, I don't know whether or not the FNM has gotten back onto this position and being able to, I getting somewhere, Garth, and being able to pay for the things that they required. If you need marketing, you need advertisements, you need an opportunity to be able to get airtime, the FNM would pay for that, go out there, do what they have to do, deliver it, and then pull back. But it seems as though now, Garth, go with me. It seems as though now, I don't know if this is their war room, I don't know what this is, but it seems as though it's now time to be able to besmirch and tear down character. I'm not talking specifically about this issue that we're seeing come forward with Sabat, because he is a ratified candidate for the Fort Charlotte constituency for the PLP. I don't think it's just solely isolated to that. Now, as we look at this and we make this particular determination, I don't know what the hell is going on, Garth. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if this is the war room factors are activated, or I don't know whether or not this is just sort of this mischievous posture that exists in the realm of the internet for persons to kind of besmirch your character and pull you down with all these particular things and these sayings. Talk to me, Garth. What are your thoughts?
If he were to be 100% truthful and extremely honest, we have to look historically at the last general election, the convention, the change of leadership, and present leadership. That's where the conversation is. When the new leader emerged for the first time, what we saw was a campaign for almost 4 years to besmirch the name of the former leader.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole idea of casting down was always present in that first convention, that first takeover.
Mm-hmm.
The energy given to that remained consistent throughout until we got the news that that leader would not be getting a nomination in the Free National Movement. We thought it was over. We found out it was not yet over, and the campaign continued. What we did not see that you know very well should have happened was even if the party was split in the initial stages of leadership, you should have focused on those people who remained loyal. Get those people to the association level. Get the association level to the point of financial success and build your war chest. The lack of a war chest will tell the tale nationally and internationally that you are not prepared for a general or a by-election. We know in the Bahamas elections are extremely expensive. We know that through time we have found out that politics is a wealthy man's sport. We believe that. Now we see middle-class people who are attempting to make sense out of the rise in the cost of living to say, you know what, I need a second career or I need a new career. And politics looks like it's that type of career that can actually secure myself and my family. So all we see now is people who are not showing us financial strength. We're seeing an organization that is not showing us financial strength. And what we are now evidencing is that we have to find something, anything that we can throw against the wall, praying to the good Lord that it sticks, sufficiently enough to hide the fact that I'm not financially strong. If they are strong, show me their associations. Show me your books. You talk about transparency and accountability, freedom of information. Show me the success of you building your organization. What I can now show you is a fractured organization. Very much fractured. Yesterday, yes, I could afford you. Today, the money is gone.
So now I is the problem. See what happened there? See, the issue in that people have changed or the environment has changed. What happened is that you don't have finances. You don't have the finances to access or the capital to access the things that you need to be done expeditiously. And so you have to be able to tap into creativity. And unfortunately, the creativity is the creativity of the devil's hand. I just want to be very clear. To be able to pull down people's character, to identify these things, to be able to take a nasty, a sully campaign, to be able to approach the Bahamian people, it is wild. It is wild. And I'm watching this, and I'm watching steadily about this particular approach. Now, I ain't got a problem with them, you know. I ain't got a problem with them. In fact, I want some of them to come on the rundown with me. Now, not all, trust me. Some of y'all I don't want around me. Don't come around me. I ain't want them around me. God, you know me. I can tell you don't come from around me, not in a bad way. I can tell you that. Okay? Now, some of them I will have a very well-rounded conversation of and be able to have a very clear conversation to talk about. However, I realize that because of the lack of financial endowment, you ain't got it.
Okay.
All of a sudden, I'm watching these campaigns pop up online. I'm watching a malicious posture that they have taken, not to be able to speak about the good that they have done, but to pull down the character of an organization, of an individual, of an idea. Simply because you don't have the finances to build your own idea and project it to the Bahamian people. You don't have the finances to be able to prop up your candidate and present them to the Bahamian people. You don't have what it takes at this time. You don't have it. What we would have seen, Garth, talk to me, Garth, let's talk. What we would have seen recently, the exuberance, the excitement, the fanning out, almost like when girls see big celeb, oh my God, I can't believe it, Johnny Depp, and going crazy. The fanfare and the exuberance associated around one candidate who got held to win that constituency, let's be very clear, who got held to win that constituency, and it seems as though the FNM, not just beneath the surface, has said to themselves, we found our savior. we finally found someone who could be able to carry us into the next election. I don't know whether or not that is by popularity. I don't know if that's by name recognition. I don't know what that is for them. But I know it can't be money. It cannot be money. Because Rick Fox ain't got it like that. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Vanessa got the money. And whatever he make, and better go hurry up make, because if they divorced in California, he got to pay 50% of everything he make to Vanessa. He ain't got it like that. He need to come home and set himself up and separate himself and find himself in the position that he can take care of himself and do his best to retain a particular. But listen, see, you may think that, oh, how would you get against this? I don't have no problem with these people. I like seeing Rick Fox from afar off. I say, oh, it's a handsome guy, hey, my God. But when you come up close, listen, you look good from far. But when you come close, God, you look far from good. Because you ain't ready for this kind of action that you want to be able to thrust yourself into. And the FNM seems like they are now rallying behind this idea that we have a savior. I don't know if they think that this is going to be able to replace the lack of finances that they have. I don't know what they're thinking in these particular areas, but this is going to be a difficult thing. Talk to me, Garth.
Yes, it's going to be very difficult. But there's a common thread that I'm listening for from you. And that common thread is the mere fact that we are looking at low-budget campaigning.
Low budget.
Where anyone can now be a politician.
No,
All you need...
And the FNM is wrong for that. They
all
wrong.
you need, you can use WhatsApp, you can use
They wrong.
ChatGPT, you can use TikTok.
They wrong.
Everybody is now a media specialist.
They wrong.
Everybody's now a political analyst. Everybody's now a superstar. But when you look at their lives and where they're coming from, they do not have the wherewithal that folks in yesterday had to make things happen. And mind you, money isn't everything in politics. Influence also plays an important role. But where these individuals have not played a vital role in community building, they lack the influence that they need to take them over. So they got to find the money. If you want power and you don't have money, you need to have influence. They are hoping that social media would give them the influence necessary enough to take them to the top. It's not going to work. Because the minute we can identify your face and your presence, the next thing we're going to ask you is, where is the thing? Now, I know it sounds like a Scotch record, but I got a call during the Christmas time of an aspirant in the Pinewood Gardens area who had a beautiful presentation when it came to social media. She called and she bragged, oh, my boy looked good. Oh, he looked good, he looked good, he looked good. And then the line came. But as he's looking good, I'm watching his hands. He ain't got nothing in his hands. If you can look that good, you got to have something in your hand. You got to make it look like you're going to give away something.
Even Moses had something in his hand.
What is that in your hand? A rod.
Moses didn't think he had nothing. But God said you got something in your hand.
The Shunammite woman, what you got? I only got a little bit of meal for me and my son, and then we can die.
Use that.
Use that. All we got is
The
2
little
fish
boy?
and 5 loaves.
All right, talk to me. We can use that.
Now, guess what?
We can use that.
If you need to feed 5,000, you don't bring Jesus 1 fish and 2 loaves. When you want to feed 5,000, 2 fish and 5 loaves, you have plenty left over. I'm just saying.
At least.
You got to be honest. You got to come to, in John chapter 4, you got to come to the well for water, and we can give you some living water. But you got to come for the water. You got to bring the jug. You come swinging hand, and you keep talking.
God, that's heavy. You're getting heavy, God. God, you're getting heavy.
I mean, I just don't need to explain to me where you're going.
No, God, you're getting heavy. Because if we want to be very clear, what you are saying to me is that there is a desire to multiply something, but you don't have nothing in your hand. There is a desire for you to be able to reach some people and convince some people, but you don't have nothing in your hand. The calculation and your desire to look at the rhythm of what has happened over the past 4 election cycles, from PLP to FNM, from PLP to FNM, from PL, you are leaning too heavy on the expectation that that would happen in this particular election cycle. And I can say to you, my brother, I don't believe that going to happen. That's just how it. It's just how it. Because nobody in the city, listen to me, there is nobody in the city of Nassau and who I talk to throughout the Family Islands that are saying to me, boy, look here, Brave got to go. The last time we hear Brave got to go is when Sheen Gibson had a desire to be able to get himself a nomination in West Grand Bahama over Obi Wilchcombe, when Obi Wilchcombe passed away. Do you remember this?
I remember well.
Okay. The first and last time during this particular election cycle, okay, this sort of governance period, this administrative period, the first and last time we would have heard any sort of chanting, Brave got to go, was when Sheen Gibson, internally in the PLP, decided to be able to identify those persons and get support in West Grand Bahama and do what he thought he needed to do to get his things done. The next thing we saw, Shane Gibson back out the race entirely. Then Shane Gibson, genuflect, let these things happen. Shane Gibson started to have a conversation about the fact that he wanted to go to my car. Him and Fred Mitchell started an indifference. Shane Gibson back out. Next thing you know, Shane Gibson said, I'm done with politics for good. That's the PLP. That's the PLP. I have not heard over these 4.5 years, going on 5 years now, this year making 5 years in September, I have not heard the overwhelming, resounding cry to get rid of this prime minister. Have you?
No, we haven't heard that. What we have heard is that everyone is trying to find an issue in order to pull the government down. Okay. Everyone is making a complaint. But once again, I said to you, nothing is wrong with complaining. Absolutely nothing is wrong. We all know the complaints. Every citizen who has sense knows the complaints. What we do not have, I said to you, was these people who are complaining showing us what is the alternative and what is the plan. You see, when you complain, you got to say, you know what? I'm driving with a flat tire, but I have something called a fix-a-flat. Let me fix it. You ain't saying that. All you're saying is the tire flat. The tire flat. You know the car wobbling because the tire flat. The tire flat. The tire flat. We going too slow. The tire flat. The tire flat. Where is the air for the tire? Where is the tire? Where is the fix-a-flat? Where's the patch? Give me something. Give me anything. But you can't just say the tire flat, the tire flat, the tire flat. We ain't need that right now. What we need in the Bahamas is a solution. You cannot tell me that the government, Mr. Rick Fox, is not prepared to assist you with building these houses because they're not giving you the land. Let me say this to you.
That don't even make sense.
Goes to build a house and don't have no land to put it on.
That don't even flipping make sense. None of that makes sense. Nothing I hear this man say. He sit down with Jerome. Nothing he say makes sense.
Don't build 1,000 house. Build 200 and go buy the land. And then tell the government, give me some land to build some more houses. That's how it's supposed to be done. But you trying to trick me and tell me you will build 1,000 houses but you ain't got no land? Please.
But did you finish the first set of houses you could build on the land that you had? That's the question. We got to ask these questions, man. We got to be clear with this thing, God. Something is happening out here. It seems like somebody is trying to jockey for position, and they got some people behind them trying to get themselves in strategic positions and categories. They're trying to be able to ensure that some things are getting done. And they're goosey in this man who don't know our politics, don't know our system. I'm watching his accent change just a pinch. Just a pinch. I'm watching his accents recalibrate back to default, which is the Bahamas. I'm watching these things change, and that's a good thing. But he also need to be able to recalibrate his mind to understand, baby, we ain't in America. This ain't about popularity. No, but listen to me. As soon as you start to get into Bahamian politics, nobody care about you no more. We dealing with you. This is how we deal with everybody. As soon as you, listen, he was Rick Fox, the star. Rick Fox, the big shot. Rick Fox did this, Rick Fox did that. Even when he ascended to the position of ambassador, we looked at that and say, well, this could be good for the government. His name and this kind of exposure could give us a good position and we can make some things happen. This could be good. This could be good. As soon as he started to shift away from the government and indicate that government had issues and start to be able to come to the fore, hey, hold on. FNM and PLP said it alike. FNM and PLP said it alike. Our only concern was not that you was an ambassador, but that now you seek to undermine the people who afforded you an opportunity to represent our country. Rick, what you doing? Rick, what are you doing? Then we heard murmurs about him starting his own party. We saw Pintard come out. First time I ever heard Pintard say something nice about a person. He come out and shower accolades upon Rick. I said, hold on. I told you this. I said, hold on, there's something wrong. I never see Pintard do this. And next thing you know, boom. I told you, I said, do you remember me talking to you about this? I said, do you think that the FNM can jump slick and screw Shannon on over and give Rick Fox that nomination in St. James? Do you remember me? Do we talk about this? I hold my breath for 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks for Shannon on. 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks for Shannon on. Jay Philippe came out of nowhere. Jay Philippe, before ratification, Jay Philippe already had a letter from the chairman floating about indicating that we have chosen him and identified him for the constituency of Baintown. That don't happen. That is the supersession of the democracy that you continue to espouse in your organization. That don't happen. What about Mandel? And Mandel was supposed to get the damn nomination. What about Mandel? No one saying nothing about that. You go on Godville, you get Godville for Nassau Village, you put Godville in there. I watched Nicole Martin going back to school. She do every Jesus thing to prepare herself for Nassau Village the next time. Godville get it. The FNM is a party. I don't understand what's going on. I really don't understand what's going on. The democracy that they espouse, they created this module that you were supposed to go through. Watch me, Garth. This module, just like the PLP, that you were supposed to go through and be able to find yourself as an aspirant for the Free National Movement. The same concept and idea with the aspirant module that happens with the PLP. However, the difference between the FNM and the PLP is the FNM said that this is what you have to do. And then they rejected their own process and superseded everything and put Rick Fox in there. All the way from the back of the bush and put Rick Fox there. Then tried to justify that and justify his position based upon his international exposure and all these things. His intent was never to be able to be an ambassador for these particular spaces. He could be able to equate that and say, well, you know, I've done this as a Bahamian. I'm an ambassador. Let me get you straight. I never played for a Canadian team. Never played for a Canadian team. Rick, that ain't how this politics go. That ain't how this politics go. That ain't how this politics go. You didn't play for the Bahamas. When we needed you, you didn't play. Buddy played. VJ played. Anyone who had any particular status internationally played. And you never showed up. My God, if Lenny Kravitz could have played, he would have played. Because he's showing up all the time. Let's just be very clear. Garth, the Free National Movement, in my view, is leaning heavily on the expectation and the rhythm of our society that says FNM PLP, FNM PLP, and they're hoping for victory as a default factor, and they think anyone they put into these particular spaces can be able to be the victor. But I don't believe, I can't say it's going to be, but I don't believe that that's going to happen this time. Talk to me.
Well, I'll ask you one question today. It's now February and 2026. We have been discussing these matters post last general election. And we make mention of leadership. It goes back to leadership. You spoke about the ventriloquist. You spoke about the puppet master. You spoke about the strengths behind the leader. We asked for the strengths of the leader. And of course, we've had people from Grand Bahama and other places saying, you know what, he's a great member of parliament. And we would not deny, if you're a great member of parliament, you're a great member of parliament. There's nothing wrong with that. That's actually great news.
Yeah.
The real question, though, does every great member of parliament become a great party leader, or are they automatically a great party leader? And what we're now witnessing is that it doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. And so presently, I ask you now the question, even though you're the host, if you were to change the face now, like right now before the general election is called, you were to change the face of the leadership and the chairmanship of the Free National Movement, would you get a different result? If
No.
the answer is yes,
No.
then the question then would be, would you get a different result for better, or would you get a different result for worse?
Worse.
These are questions that you must ask yourself.
Worse. If you change it, it ain't gonna be no better. Let's be very clear. If you change the FNM's leadership right now, Garth, it's not gonna be no better. If you change the FNM's leadership right now, it's not gonna be no better. If you change Michael Pintard from his particular capacity, if you change the chairman from Dwayne Sands, you take him out of that capacity, and you change the deputy leader, you're going to have a worse result at the polls, because it actually brings all of our fears and speculations to light. We would have said for a long time that we don't believe that this particular trifecta of leadership is prepared to take them to the next level and to be able to make some things happen. We've said that. Michael Pintard has been wrestling since his inception into this position of leadership with his perceived social qualifications. That ain't nobody put that on him. People just saying, is he qualified? Is he qualified? I don't know if he qualified. This is not a question that they've ever asked about Brave Davis. It's not a question that they've ever asked even about Menace. They've never asked about qualification, but for sure, Michael Pintard has wrestled from the inception of him accepting this particular position. After he ascended to this, he has wrestled with whether or not he is qualified. And if you change now, that particular assumption, that idea, that notion of lack of qualification comes back, and it solidifies in our heads, say, damn it, I knew he wasn't qualified. I can't vote for the FNM. They're not prepared.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If they should remain, because that is now presently the best option, and go into a general election and lose, you spoke about the existence of the bench, whether it's a deep bench, a shallow bench, or no bench at all. And you made a comparison between the parties. If this Free National Movement now loses, you saying that there are no other alternatives to the present option, then tell me, where is the future leadership and strength of
The future leadership exists in the Free National Movement right now. Okay?
Where?
Now let's be very clear.
Tell me where.
Let's look at the candidates. The qualifications of those particular candidates. I can get deep with you right now. How much time we got? We got 35 minutes. I ain't gonna take no break, guys. Let's watch this. Make sure you like and share. We're having a real conversation, and this is how we can do it. Hubert Ingram, watch me. Not Hubert Ingram. Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis. Dr. Hubert Alexander Minnis. Has never said that he's not an FNM. He has never articulated out of his mouth that he is going independent and that he's not an FNM. Now, we will see him go independent. But he's never taken on a posture to be able to besmirch or to be able to say anything negative about the Free National Movement. He chooses not to touch that. He chooses to stay in a space of neutrality and continue to be able to push forward. They keep asking him, Dr. Minnis, what will you do? Will you run independent? I will be on the ticket. Will you run independent? I will be there. Will you run independent? I will be. Never answering the question directly, always being elusive with this information. And my theory is that his elusive posture is because he realizes that there's turmoil that exists in the Free National Movement. And after he wins his seat, he can still find himself back into a position when the Free National Movement loses the next general election. Hold on. This I go in by what I believe his calculation is. This ain't me saying that the FNM gonna lose. I'm going by what I believe his calculation is. His calculation is when the Free National move the next general election, they can come back looking for me. Because who they gonna look for? They ain't gonna look for Hubert Ingram. They gonna look for me. All right, so let me make sure my language is in order. Let me make sure that I'm persistent in what I'm supposed to do in terms of representation, and let me make sure I win. That's Hubert Alexander Minnis. Boom. Andre Rollins, Dr. Andre Rollins entered the frame. Andre Rollins, you would think that after he would have had so much issues, watch me, under the last administration and the indifference that existed between him and Dr. Minnis, that, and he took some time off, that he didn't want anything to do with that particular organization, so he stepped back from it and just make sure that they had everything straight. And now he's coming back to the forefront. And the very first thing that we saw him do in his interview, I watch. And I see that he's become more matured in terms of his age. And like fine wine, you see his nice grays peppered in his beard and his goatee and whatnot. Looks nice, right? And I'm listening to him to see whether or not his gray and his posture could be able to match his tone. Did he change his tone? Did he make modifications to that? And I listened to him speak about Long Island and the nomination associated with Long Island. And then he said he did not speak to Adrian Gibson. I said, hold on, wait. He said, I didn't speak to Adrian Gibson. No, I don't have no problem with Adrian Gibson at all. I mean, I think that he should be commended for what he would have done in the constituency. He's done well. He's been an advocate and continue to be an advocate. And he stumbled over a couple of words. And so I knew that he was ill prepared to be able to answer this question, or he was being a little disingenuous. Yeah, you could be able to provide these things and whatnot. And I said, as I was watching him, I said, oh my God, Michael Pintard have a problem. Michael Pintard have a problem because Andre coming for leadership. Marvin Dames. God, let's just shoot straight. Marvin Dames. Marvin Dames has a determination in his eye. He understands, as a former law enforcement, the importance of being able to travel through ranks. He understands of being able to hold your own and do what you have to do while in the capacity that you're in. But he has never, while in the police force, while in this particular capacity, and now with his aspirations to move again towards political leadership, I don't think he has ever yielded from the idea of acquiring supreme power. Marvin Dames. Ellsworth Johnson, quite capable, quite articulate, insightful, far-reaching, patient, and determined. He ain't gonna let you believe that he running towards these things, but you could see that he's preparing for something bigger. Hold on now, Ellsworth is my friend. You could see that he's preparing for something bigger than these kind of a meek things that he's been doing for a long time. He's traveled that course already. It's time for him to take it up a few notches. Now, Shannon Dawn Cartwright. Shannon Dawn is ready for leadership in the FNM. No, people ain't like that. They don't have that kind of a conversation. Shannon Dawn is ready for leadership in the Free National Movement. He's ready for leadership. He has gone through it. They take him through hell in the party. Hell. They take him through hell. He has remained poised. He's remained steadfast. He's allowed them to hit him with the bumps and bruises. He's still showing his tenacity. He's still showing his determination. I'm hoping that he was identifying his allegiance, his grouping to be able to put his team together. I'm hoping that he did what he had to do, because it's going to come a time then when they're going to face off and battle for that leadership position. Dr. Dwayne Sands. God, I mean, you see what I'm doing to you? You see what I'm doing here? I showing you all these people who are ready and eager for leadership, whether articulated or otherwise. We know what Dwayne Sands' aspiration is, and that's why the FNM couldn't work around in this particular season. The FNM had difficulty in being able to find their footing for growth and development because everyone who was in the trifecta of leadership wanted to be leader. Everyone was assessing and being able to grade whether or not they believe that Michael Pintard has what it takes to be able to be a leader. They have never submitted to his leadership. They've articulated that they've done, but in their real life posture and their and what they are dealing and what they're doing and the respect that they give and yield to this, none of them have ever yielded to Michael Pintard's leadership. Never. For Michael Pintard to get anything done, he had to find a supreme leader that people respected, that the authority that existed, that still vested the authority in the Free National Movement, and have those things to be executed accordingly. I'm telling you that's what it's been. Michael Pintard, everybody got a bullseye on Michael Pintard back. They're coming for him. And whether or not the Free National Movement win, that ain't even the deal. Nobody cares if the Free National Movement win. They only care if they win their seat. Because if I win my seat and I in the House of Assembly and they go to convention, my God, they're coming for leadership. Bang.
I like it.
They're coming for leadership.
I like it.
And Michael Pintard have to know that if the Free National Movement do win, he might as well quit. Because he would have lost 3 elections in one cycle. He lost the by-election twice. He lost 2 by-elections and lose the general election. Sir, you ain't ready for this kind of action. You got to go. You got to go. It would normally take 15 years to lose this much things. 15 years, 10 to 15 years it would take a man to amass this amount of amount of defeat politically. 10 to 15 years. He's done so in less than 5. He's amassed a level of defeat that you could be able to see from a normal election cycle. It takes 10 to 15 years from one general election to another general election until possible a by-election if somebody died or retired or stepped back. It'll take almost 10 to 15 years. He did so in less than 5 years. And the Free National Movement holding on to him and say, baby, we can go, we can go, we can go. But simultaneously, the meritorious council members are saying, I don't know if this boy ready. All these names I called for you, Hubert Minnis, Dr. Andre Rollins, Marvin Dames, Shannon Cartwright, Dr. Sands, and Ellsworth Johnson. And that's only a few of the names because other persons have great aspirations to move within the organization. Whether or not the Free National Movement win, it has nothing to do with anything. This is a great reset. This is the reset that the party needs because they have to get to constitutional strength. They have to fortify their conviction in the organization. They have to be able to ensure that they can not only enact laws and regulation, but enforce. Because they have not enforced the laws, rules, and regulations that govern the organization by allowing Rick Fox to supersede these things. Are you looking at Rick Fox as the Minister of Foreign Affairs? Are you looking at Rick Fox as the Minister of Tourism? Are you looking at Rick Fox in a ministerial capacity? How can you do this? How can you do this? How? This is an organization that we must be able to travel with. Too many times this organization, by the arms of its leadership, has made inflections and made a juncture and intercepted a particular point where the Constitution is supposed to be able to rise at the forefront. We watched Sabah sit in them modules for the PLP. We watched Clint Watson sit in them modules for the PLP. We watched Leslie Miller say, damn, I do all these damn things before you think I get any damn module, and he sat out. We watched all the men who had a determination that they were bigger than the system and the idea be pushed aside. We watching this, God, we watching this. But the FNM, despite the rules and regulations and the parameters that they've created, they step beyond their own parameters. The FNM needs to be fixed. They need to be able to be fixed. And this election, if they don't win it, has to be able to be the great reset for the Free National Movement. They got to get their people back. They got to identify those things and prepare themselves for the next dispensation. Who knows? We may go for the next cycle through another by-election or several by-elections. Who knows? You know what's going to happen. And the FNM needs to be prepared for that. Talk to me, Garth.
You sound good. I know we needed that reset because at a particular point in time, we almost felt that the FNM was definitely heading in the wrong direction without the possibility of resurrecting for another 15 years. But with those people who are now included in the organization, there is a promise of new life. And as for the Progressive Liberal Party, they're going to now have to pull up their socks because those individuals whose names you called, they're definitely going to now attempt to resurrect and to conquer the present government. So this is no time for anyone to slack their ride. Anyone who has any plan or any ambition to lead this country or to continue to be in the House of Assembly now has to take a more serious approach, lose the lackadaisical approach, and prepare themselves to work. I think when they have slogans like "We working for you," we don't take that lightly. We need the evidence of that work. You can't talk these things. You got to do these things. And until we find people who are willing to do it, right now all things remain the same.
My brother, I appreciate you. Next time, come in the studio. We can have further conversation. I appreciate it. You go do what you got to do. I know you say you got to go on a roof or something like that.
Yeah, gonna go remove some bees from down by Curtis Island Bridge. So yeah,
Go do your
on my
thing.
way. All right, man. Take
Go
care.
do the thing. We can talk later. Ladies and gentlemen, that's none other than Garth Roseborough being able to sit with us and talk politics about these particular things. Now, y'all just cuss me out and say, Howard, look here. What does it say? Oh, Lord, y'all sending me all kind of things, right? They sending me things, all these graphics and comics and whatnot about these things, right? Say, how would you use a big time PLPI going, right? Y'all don't have a real conversation. The FNM is going to have a difficult time winning in the next general election. It's not going to be an easy thing. It's not impossible, especially if there is this sort of this idea. And I think that that's what the PLP is doing now. They're beating back the tide of a possible washout. They're beating back the tide. They're trying to be able to create some breaks. They're trying to be able to create a different shoreline so the tide don't necessarily beat against and pull everything away. I think that's what the PLP is doing. I think the PLP is feverishly trying to be able to ensure that they get themselves in a strategic position for them to be able to move with growth and development, with determination, and so forth. This is a wonderful thing. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with that. Okay? I don't hear this overwhelming sentiment that the FNM win. I don't hear this. In fact, to be honest with you, we really didn't hear that until maybe about 3 weeks before the general election for Minis. And a lot of people theorized about the fact that that was only introduced because Hubert Ingram. Remember, we didn't see Ingram for a little while? And then somebody say, go get Ingram. And they take care of Ingram, and Ingram show up. You remember? This is what I hear. Understood. Let's be clear about these things. Let's be clear about these things as we identify this and talk about these things. There's some things going on out here, man. There's some things happening out here. And in the midst of those happenings and the things that's going on, we have to be able to make a determination and identify mathematically, strategically about what's going on. We just got to be decent about it. Okay? We got to be decent about it. The PLP is not going to be a cakewalk for you. I've identified and we've spoken about some constituencies. I don't believe you have no seats in Grand Bahama. Now, Ginger may be cussing me out for saying that. And Kingsley definitely cussing me out for saying that. And and I'd love you to come to me and talk about it. But I'm telling you, the sentiments that's being able to roar and find their way out of Grand Bahama has said to me that you're not going to win the constituencies in Grand Bahama. You're going to have a difficult time. And if you ain't got no money to spend on the ground, you're gone. You're gone. And I don't know whether or not, I believe that the PLP has a great deal, but I don't know whether or not I can throw good money behind these particular prospects. I don't know. You can maintain and do well. It's interesting to see what's going to happen in Central Grand Bahama. It's interesting to see whether or not Frazette will be able to beat out Paco Deal. Paco Deal will be able to beat out Frazette. We know with Julian Beatty Russell, who was a part of the constituency, this family, this family. Julian is our family. We got family in Pindus Point. We got family in 8 Mile Rock. We got family in these particular areas. It's going to be a difficult thing. They found the PLP got a good last name, Julian Beatty Russell. When it was Outen, prior to that for the PLP running in the 8 Mile Rock constituency, he did well. But he's an Outen. And Outen is a TI name. Now, Grant is also a TI name, but it's a Grand Bahama name. and is synonymous with the constituency of 8 Mile Rock. Lindy Russell is synonymous with the constituency of West Grand Bahama, 8 Mile Rock. Let's just be clear about the mathematics that exist in these particular constituencies. The PLP is going to have a difficult time in Grand Bahama. And that ain't and I'm sure they have the statistical data to be able to identify that in their thing. They're going to have a difficult time. There's no two ways about that. You're going to have a difficult time. You're going to have a difficult time in West Grand Bahama. Not because the PLP has disappeared. Because Kingsley was unable to fill the shoes of Obi Wilchcombe. I told you that 2 years ago. I told you that. Obi promised everybody he's going to take it, but I'm going to be, Obi, everybody, Obi say, yeah, I can take care of that. Don't worry about that. And there is a level of calm when Obi existed. There was a level of calm and assurance, and you were reassured when you listen to Obi that this going to happen. You vote for Obi because you believe it going to happen. And 3 election cycles away later, he still ain't do it. But you believe it going to happen every damn time, and you go vote for him again. Obi is a charmer and a handsome guy. Yeah, he's a charmer. He know how to talk to people, know how to get these things done, never flipping with people, give you enough time, know how to hit you with the rhythms, a hypnotic in that particular state. And he was bigger than political life in this country. Obi was a giant. Hercules is in his name for nothing. The shoes was too big to fill. Especially if you ain't never studied the man. The shoes was too big to fill. Omar Isaacs is not a West Grand Bahama name. I might as well tell you that. I might as well tell you right now. Isaacs is not a West Grand Bahama name. It's not. It's not. I never been to school with one Isaacs yet. Not in West Grand Bahama. You understand? When you see me do this thing like old people, right? I watch my grandmother do it and I learn how to do the pattern and the kind of connect it. So when you see me say, what's your last name? It's a Wild Goose. I know where Wild Goose settled in Grand Bahama. What's your last name? You're a Forbes. I know where Forbes settled in Grand Bahama. What's your last name? Pratt. I know where Pratt settled in Grand Bahama. I know where Williams settled in Grand Bahama. I know where Legume is. I know where Francois is. I know where Petit is. I know where these settle in West Grand Bahama. I know the settlements and the people associated with it. I know the Jones. I know the Russells. I know the Martins. I know the settlement of where these people come from. I know the Stewarts. I know these people. I know the Smiths. I know these people. I know the settlement of where they exist in Grand Bahama. And we know the attachment that they have to a community. I know the Pinders. I know where their settlement is in West Grand Bahama. So when you identify that and you start to be able to patch these things and tie it in together, you realize, okay, there is an affection, an affinity associated with being able to have persons from this particular constituency do their thing. I know the Deals also. There's a small contingent of Deals that lives in Holmes Rock. I know them. I know them. We used to go to 8 Maracay. I know them. I know these people. Hello. But I also know the challenges that they will face. I know the challenges that they will face. They will face significant challenges. I know that. And you don't want to have this conversation. You want to talk about whatever you want. I ain't going to fight you. I ain't going to fight you. But I'm telling you, the PLP is going to have a difficult time. In West Grand Bahama, they're going to have a difficult time. In Pine Ridge, and that ain't mean that the FNM have a cakewalk in Pine Ridge. Because it's really between, in Pine Ridge, it's really between Markle Pine and Ginger. I don't expect the FNM to be able to win that. I don't. It's between Marco Pine and Ginger. Marco City, I believe that Michael Pintard's going to get that again. Now, it's not going to be easy. They take two constituencies from him. I mean, two polling divisions from him, and he's going to have to be able to dive in to get some things done. It's not going to be easy, but I think he could win it. I think he can win it. I think he can win it. Now, I understand that some people have taken on significant avenues to be able to ensure that he doesn't win it, but I think he can win it. I think he can win it. Yeah, I hear some finances has been floated in that direction to make sure that, in opposition of his particular position. All right. This is just talk. This is just allegations, speculations, conversations. There's no concrete there. I'm simply saying to you, I believe he's still going to win it. East Grand Bahama, F&M. Central Grand Bahama, F&M. Pine Ridge, Marco City. These are the two seats that will be up in the air. Marco City, at this particular time, F&M. Pine Ridge, up in the air, either PLP or independent. North Abaco is going to have a difficult time. North Abaco, the only alleviation that exists in North Abaco for not being able to identify and people being able to put a nasty campaign out about the allegations of rape against Kirk Cornish, despite vindication, despite social vindication and being able to find himself in this particular position, people will still be able to fan the flames of these things because some people just detach from the news. And as a result of their detached posture, maybe we could be able to reintroduce to their mind, didn't you notice what's going here? He's going to have a problem with that. But that don't mean that it's going to give an edge to the poodle lady in North Abaco. Because the information I've received is that she's already indicated that she did not want to run. She did not want to run. Is she running? That's the information I've received. Now look at this. This is where we are. This is where we are. It's 2 o'clock, guys. I don't know what this is. I can call this person back. I don't know who this person is. So I'll try to call him back when I'm done. It's 2 o'clock, guys. We're done with this, right? Yeah, we're not gonna be fooled and try to be able to figure these out. No, you're gonna have a difficult time in North Abaco because of Kai Mills. You're gonna have a difficult time in North Abaco because of Kai Mills. The PLP is given a youthful look with, I think the gentleman is Fox in South Abaco, South and Central. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. But we don't know. I don't know. We're going to have to look at that. We're going to have to look at that. Okay? I believe North Andres will be PLP. I believe South Andres will be PLP. I believe Exuma, as much as I love Ms. Moxie, she's going to have a difficult time. She's going to have a difficult time. I love her. I'd like to be able to see her make some good moves and make some things happen. I believe that she has a space that she could grow significantly in the Free National Movement. But it's not going to be an easy fight against the Deputy Prime Minister. So I give it to the PLP. North Abaco, North Eleuthera. I believe that North Eleuthera is going to be a challenge between Ricky and Sylvanus. The reason why is the constituency is called back for Sylvanus Petty, but that could be the PLP arm of the constituency. But there was an affection and a love for Ricky Mackey, Howard Ricky Mackey. And Ricky could possibly take this. Sylvanus said he didn't want to do it no how. Next time you saw him, he's going to be the Prime Minister. And we saw you again, and you're in the Prime Minister. You got to ask yourself some questions. So this may be one of those things. And then we go all the way to South and Central. Philippa against Clay. I believe, despite what has happened, and despite the indifference that exists there, the tribulations and the trials associated with what was happening in that space, I believe Clay can win that. I believe Clay can win that. unless a wave on. And I don't see the wave on yet. Now, we said that the wave is cut on 3 weeks and 2 weeks before the election. If the wave ain't on 3 weeks before the election, then we don't think it can cut on. We don't think it can cut on. The FNM have money to spend to get people motivated towards them. They got to be able to hit you with a rhythm. That's how politics works in this country. They got to hit you with a song. They got to be able to encompass everything, all of your emotions that you have endured for the past 5 years, and make it accurate and hit you with a song. When the FNM hit you with it, tired of this miserable life, tired of the worry and the problems and the strife, you say, oh my God, that's it. It hit you and it connected significantly. And in that connection, you found victory. When you see these songs and you associate those things, and it gives you that nostalgia, that idea, and it pitches this tent in your mind about possibilities, then this is where you go. But for the FNM to do that, they got to build groundwork. For me, personally, the FNM is working for you. It doesn't work for me. I just want to let you know that. That doesn't do it for me. Guys, it's the weekend. I want to thank you so very kindly for being able to tune in with us. Have a beautiful weekend. Enjoy yourselves with your sweet thing in the can. Make sure you do something nice with her. Tell her to put on a little spaghetti strap, even though it's cold. Put on a shawl and take it to the movie. Yeah, take it to the movie. Tell her shave her legs. Let's go to the movies. Yes. Let's have a good time. Watch a good movie. And get back. Make you feel like you're young again. Amen? Yeah. Give her a couple kisses. Enjoy her. I won't do the same thing. I'm thinking about it at the same time. It's going to be a good weekend. Hope you guys are good. Hope you're safe and have a great weekend. I want to thank you so much for being able to tune in with us. We can have more conversation, more political analysis, more being able to talk about these things, and more of the hopes that you pull away from this sort of a concept and idea that you got to besmirch people's character to be able to pull up yours. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. But I guess you've already put yourself, and I think that could lead to so much things. You're willing to do whatever it takes for victory, whatever it takes. Your character means nothing. Your name means nothing. The position that you've developed and built on means nothing. All you need now is victory, and you would kill your mother for that. No, man, you got to fix this. You got to be able to fix this. Enjoy yourselves, guys, this weekend. I'll see you on Monday right here on The Foundation, and then at 8 p.m. on The Rundown over at ZNS. Have a beautiful weekend, guys. See you next time.
I have a dream where the powerful and the powerless will sit at the same table, where the haves will see the have-nots, not as burdens, but as brothers, where class will not divide us, but conviction will unite us. I have a dream that the oligarchs will remember we must all eat, that the brown-faced neo-colonialists will remember who they are and whose they are. I have a dream that fraternities will build beyond internal architecture into a national bond, that the walls of design will give way to the bridges of brotherhood, not a fraternity of symbol, but a brotherhood of substance. I have a dream that we remain focused, that we stay in our conviction and remain fearless, that we double down, fortified, to return this Bahama land to the foundation.